So I've made many mistakes over the years that I've been training, that I'm sure we all have. When you first start out with your fitness journey, it's just a part of the game that you're going to make silly mistakes, and in your future years, when you start to mature with your training, you'll look back on and learn from. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the 6 biggest mistakes that I made when I first started training, and hopefully this can help out some of you watching this video. So let's get into it. First mistake was not tracking any of my lifts. The first few years of my training was like a wild goose chase. I'd go into the gym, choose a random exercise for an estimated amount of reps and just kind of guess the weight that I was going to lift with. And then I'd repeat this process over and over again, loosely remembering what I lifted last time for an estimated amount of reps. Unless you want to spin your wheels forever, then don't do this. You need to get stronger to get bigger, period. Track all of your lifts, all of the sets, all of the reps, and all of the weight that you're using. Write it down in a training log, and over weeks, months, and years, aim to progress the weight and the reps on all of those lifts. That is the number 1 rule you need to follow. The second mistake I made was not following a training program. Again, a wild goose chase. I would just copy what my friends were doing and jump from exercise to exercise at random with no plan or structure to any of my sessions. Now, bro splits were what I was doing at the time because that's what my friends were doing, so I just emulated them. Now, you can certainly get big and make a lot of gains off bro splits, but there's no way in hell I would recommend that to my younger self as a beginner. If I could go back 100%, I would make myself do a full body split for about a year or so, focus on the big compound movements, get stronger with all of them, and throw some isolation lifts in there, also get stronger with them. Or at the most, I would follow a upper-lower split. The third mistake was not following any type of diet. Eating whenever and whatever I felt like, made sure that there was no change in my body composition whatsoever. Now, in my younger days, I was naturally lean, so staying in shape wasn't hard for me regardless of what I ate. But that being said, as soon as I threw on a t-shirt, I'd go from being very ripped to do you even lift status. If I could go back, I would start bulking the first day I stepped foot in the gym. I'd maintain the bulk for roughly 2 years, put on some serious pounds, and then go on a cut for about 6 months or so after those 2 years. And that would have made a night and day difference in my physique and put me light years ahead in terms of body composition. I want to interrupt this video to say if you want to build muscle, lose fat, and learn about training directly from me, I'm now taking calls and clients for online coaching. Click the link in this description to find out more. The fourth mistake I made was chasing a pump. The one and only goal of my early training days was to get a massive pump, feel good for the next hour or so before I deflate back to normal. Now, the pump has minimal importance when it comes to actually building muscle. It's not completely useless, it does have its place, but it should be one of the lesser important goals of your training when it comes to muscle hypertrophy. Mechanical tension, progressive overload, and bulking are the holy trio of building muscle, so you want to place the most importance on those 3 things. From my understanding, the pump is best used to figure out whether the exercise that you're doing is stimulating the muscle you're trying to target enough. For example, if your forearms give out before your biceps while you're doing a barbell curl, then most likely it's not the best exercise for your body to train your biceps, and most likely you need to experiment and try another exercise. The 5th mistake I made was skipping leg day. For the love of God, please don't do this. All it's going to do is hold you back with your training and make your physique look weird. You're going to have a massive upper body with tiny stick legs and it just looks stupid. The only reason I can understand for skipping leg day is if you're a calisthenics athlete or if you're a gymnast and you want to be as proficient as possible on the bars with your tricks. But most likely, if you're watching this video, you're not one of them, so just train your legs. Even if you don't care about your legs at all, just train them 1 day a week with a few sets of squats, and that will do the job. It's a common theme in the training world that the more you mature with your training, you start to enjoy a leg day more and more. The more you train legs, the more you start to enjoy them. It's a weird phenomenon. And most likely it's going to happen to you. I mean, that's certainly what happened to me, and I've seen it with many other people in the world of training. So just train your legs with the minimal amount of volume when you begin your training journey. So in your future years, if you decide to go hard with your legs and you really want to grow them, you don't have to start from square one. You've already got a minor baseline to start from. The 6th mistake I made was doing no stretching or any mobility work. When I first started training, all I did was weights and 0 stretching. This was fine at first, But sooner than later, injuries and little tweaks, they started to creep up on me, and then I was forced to do stretching and mobility work. Now, with weight training, a lot of people love to shit on stretching and say it's a complete waste of time. This is absolute nonsense. You want to be jacked and you want to be nimble, so you don't blow your back out one day when you're tying up your shoelaces or you're brushing your teeth.
My back! Oh, my back!
And also, it just feels good to stretch out your body from time to time. And if you've got any tight muscles or aches and pains, it just feels really nice just to loosen them up, get some blood flow in there and really open up that muscle. If you can't hit full depth on squats, stretch out your ankles and your hips. If pull-ups hurt your shoulders, then stretch out your lats and stretch out your shoulders and your chest. It's really common sense stuff. If a muscle's tight and it's causing you issues, then just stretch it out for a few minutes every day. You don't need to be one of these dogmatic people where you think, I'm either gonna stretch or I'm either gonna lift weights and there's no in between. That's extremely stupid. Just do both. They're not gonna interfere with each other. You wanna be jacked and you wanna be nimble. And those are the 6 biggest mistakes that I would change if I could go back in time. Hopefully this helps out some of you that are watching this video. And with all that being said, try it out for yourself and see you go from there. Until next time, peace.